Hello there. This is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Exercise your mind as well as your body. Now, everybody knows me for saying body game, body game, body game. But a lot of people don't focus on the other aspects, or at least think, well, wait a minute. Rom talks about body game and stuff, but he be hitting on all this more intellectual stuff. That's because you have to develop yourself mentally as well. You got to exercise that mind. In fact, in my book, Nice Guys and Players, I talk about mental and spiritual development. Let me read this excerpt from that chapter on mental and spiritual development. Just as a man must develop himself physically, he must also develop himself mentally. Too many men don't read anything other than the sports section in fashion magazines. Too many men are limited on the opinions they can offer intelligently in a conversation. Women are drawn by a man's physical appearance. They are, however, turned off immediately if the man opens his mouth and sounds stupid. Only women who are interested in sex want an inarticulate, stupid man. Women want good conversation from men. I have heard many women complain about meeting attractive men who were stupid. They'll say, he was cute and all until he opened his mouth. Unless you are a male stripper and she's horny, a man has to be articulate and knowledgeable. A man should take the following steps. A man should go to a bookstore and head right to the nonfiction sections. Pick up books on philosophy, psychology, politics, history, or anything nonfiction. I highly recommend books that contain ideas that go against your belief systems. This causes you to actually have to think about something. Once a man begins to think, his consciousness grows and demands new ideas to feed this consciousness. These new ideas will lead to the man formulating his own ideas. These ideas want an outlet. The man will automatically develop ways to effectively communicate his ideas. He will even begin to look different as he becomes more confident in expressing himself. Women will respond to this. A man can be drop dead fine and get plenty of attention from women and still lose out in the long term if he isn't able to truly think and express himself. Now, this is very important. See, understand something. Women, remember, what have I always said? This gets into the deeper metaphysics behind men and women. I say a man make love to a woman's body, but a woman make love to a man's mind. A man can actually draw a woman not based on his body of knowledge, that's important, but how he expresses his intellect, how he expresses himself, the confidence he has when he talks about something that he knows about. It's not so much what he actually knows, but the confidence. You can talk about something a woman has no idea about it, but if you expressing that in an intelligent manner, that turns her on. Because on a deep level, a woman's attracted to a man's spirit. On a deeper level, it's like a fat ass to him, and that, like I said, that gets into some deeper metaphysics, right? Check out my Deep Thought channel. I probably talked about it a few times on there, right? But you got to exercise your mind because remember, and this again is deep, but I got to express this. The universe is mental. Everything starts with an idea. When you go to the gym to work out, you still have to think about what you're going to work out, right? That's still a mental thing. You just saying, okay, I'm gonna do my chest exercises a certain way. I'm going to do the leg presses a certain way. I'm going to breathe a certain way. That's not something instinctual. That's your mind saying this is how to do it. Or if you were to read or watch some videos or, read like an article on how to exercise, that's still a mental thing. Right. And that's just the body game. That's still mental. Everything you do or even how you interact, your belief systems, that's mental. All right. The ability to think. I mean, that's the whole point of my Deep Thought channel. I don't promote a spiritual system over there. I've said that several times. I respect all spiritual systems. My thing is I want you to think over there. I'll throw out some stuff I just want you to think about. I ain't even saying I'm right or wrong. I'm just saying just think about it. All right? Because as a man, that's our thing. That's our power, is to think. We supposed to, even within a relationship. Remember, I've talked about the house of the man, right? The house of the man. Remember, there were 4 pillars. There's the warrior, the hunter, and the healer. But then there's also the eagle. The eagle is the thinker. The eagle uses logic and rational thinking to get where he wants to go. He can see everything. He can make a plan. That requires thinking. That requires that your mind is right. You know? So you have to exercise. You actually have to think about something. Like if y'all listen closely to some of my podcasts, especially on my Deep Thought channel, often, people used to me saying maybe rise and transform, but sometimes I hit you with something. I say, think on this. Think on this. Actually think. See, a lot of times you have a lot of men, they're not exercising their mind. They're not exercising their thinking ability. They're responding from emotion. Now, emotion has a place, but, as a man, you're expected to think. And see, you can develop that, like I said, yeah, it even affects how you work out. But just like you working maybe on that specific job or something to develop something, or you working on your body to develop it, or even your style or whatever, you still have to work on expanding your mind. And see, the beauty of your mind, you don't really need to pay. You don't even need to pay. Like if you go into a gym or something, you got to pay or get stylish or something. But shoot, if you got a device, you can read something online. Or shoot, you can get a library card for free. And I've did a video, talked about my book collection. I said a lot of books I don't necessarily have on my shelf because I'll just go to the library and get it, Shoot, even with this virus, you can call ahead if you have an idea which book you want to get, and they'll have it for you. They'll meet you at the front door with it. But you have to have that. Like me, I like reading stuff that, even if it goes against what I'm thinking, just to see the other side. But it expands it, because then even if it's something I have a dislike for, my first thought is, okay, how can I deal with this? How can I think out of it? And then going through life, ultimately for a man to get through any situation, he has to think. Now, sometimes that thought might say he might have to throw his hands or something, but then he thought about it first. Or he has to think on how to interact, deal with this situation, because I don't care who you are or where you live, going through life, you always going to have those problems that pop up. Very key. Very key. And a man has to think his way out of it. That's a man's power. Is he really thinking? Is he thinking about it? Or is he going from emotion, or is he going through instinct, or is he really following some other crowd or something? See, let's get back to the analogy of the eagle, the logical, rational thing. What does the eagle do? You don't see eagles in packs. You don't see a flock of eagles. They fly alone. The only time you see them with another eagle is when they mating. But they see the whole picture. They see everything. That's part of thinking too, to see everything, to think it through, to think about all scenarios and something. But in order to get there, you need to exercise your mind. I would recommend every man maybe take an hour every day, just like you taking an hour to work out. Or some people get into meditation where they they might sit and just chill, empty their mind, do something else, take another hour and just think about something. Just look at something and really think it through or something. Just exercise your mind like that. But it's very important for men to do that. So, as I always say, think on this. Peace and blessings.